Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC, and today a rather strange looking quadcopter has turned up from lightdate.com. This is the GTeng T902C quadcopter. Now GTeng are known for making unique looking quadcopters, and these days with the amount of choice that we have, looks are the only thing that separates these micro quadcopters apart. It kind of looks like they have taken the design of the unique Q500 and taken its round camera module and put it in the middle. How cool would it be if this entire ball was a micro gimbal to give us stabilized footage? I think the technology is not that advanced for the moment, but who knows with the way this hobby is progressing these days. Feature-wise, this quad reminds me of the old Hubsan H107C. We have a 720p camera with a narrow field of view, a 450 mAh one-cell battery. The batteries are pretty square and it's a tight fit into the battery bay, so there's no room for modification with this one. The prop protectors are built into the quad, but I noticed that they don't cover the top of the blade, so be aware of that if flying indoors. It also has these landing legs which are already installed, so there's no construction required. It comes ready to fly out of the box. We also have the transmitter, a spare set of blades, a screwdriver, a USB charger, a 4GB memory card and card reader, and for that, the entire package costs just $39. Let's take a look at the transmitter. It's got one of these screws in the back to secure the battery plate, but they have provided a screwdriver for it to get the two AAA batteries in. Although I'm never a fan of a battery plate that screws in, I often switch my batteries around. The top left shoulder button starts and stops video recording. The top right shoulder button takes a photo, but if you are already in video record mode, then the photo button will also stop the video recording to take a photo. The left-hand control stick acts as a rate button when you press it in, providing low, medium, and high rates. The right-hand control stick does flips when you press it in. On the throttle trim, we have headless mode when it is pressed up, and the down button is one key return. The rest of the buttons are for the trims. Let's go and take it for a fly. I do like this quadcopter, however I noticed that it's not that easy to see when the camera is recording video. There is a light underneath that shows a constant green colour, and when the video recording is enabled it turns to a slight red colour. You can't see this when it's in the air, so I'm checking before I take off that it's recording video. I switch up to the high rate as the low rate is more for indoor use for beginners. It can't handle the wind in low rates, the medium rate however is fine. The quad does feel slightly heavy for its power, but I think it's using 7mm motors rather than 8.5mm. I think they have done this to improve the flight time. It flies for about 7 minutes, and that is with the camera recording. It seems to have enough power to perform flips without losing any height. The high rate mode is quite aggressive, which is how I like it. I would say that it is a true high rate. Let's take a look at the camera. Now I have found a great way to get stable footage out of these toy grade camera quads, and that is to fly them using the trims. You need a fairly calm day to do this, but I find that the toy grade transmitters don't have enough resolution on them to get decent footage. Therefore, slight movements on the sticks can cause massive movement for the quad and its video footage. So if you get the quad nicely trimmed out, get some height on, control your throttle so that you get a nice hover. If the quad is a good flyer in general, you should be able to fly it by pressing the trims. This takes me back to the olden days when RC aircraft were flown using only buttons, but it does work. The video footage is stable. This quad's camera points slightly down. I wish it was facing more forwards because the narrow field of view gets a lot of shots of the ground. If you take it higher up though, you should get some nicer shots. One good thing about camera quads at this size is that you tend not to get any jello on the video footage, as the props aren't big enough to vibrate, and that's the case with this GTeng quadcopter. You can fly this one indoors, but if you are trying to get good video of indoors, then you might spend a lot of time looking at the floor. Overall, I think this is a good quadcopter. It could do with having prop protectors that cover the blades better, and I prefer less of a tilt on that camera, but the quality of the camera is good in general, and if you play about with it, you can get some nice footage. So there you go, that is my review of the GTeng T902C quadcopter. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will put a link in the description if you wish to buy it. You can also follow me on Instagram at AndyRC_channel for pictures of items that are going to be coming up on the channel. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.